Call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock. Stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Anyone had a chance to look the agenda over?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Consent agenda.
All right, the consent agenda, we have the minutes from our last meeting, June 14th. We have the accounts receivable report and the payables. Anything sticks out? Everything is pretty much routine, so, on our payables this time. Excuse me.
So the $5,300 we saved, about $2,700. Any complaints about the way we did the cleanup?
No, there's a couple people that paid for an item and put on their curb that
Right.
weren't picked up, but they got taken care of, so.
But no complaints about having to deliver here? Good.
Nope.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? As we get to the public forum section, we've made a couple of changes to how we're gonna do public forum. I'll just read this right off the sheet. Those wishing to speak must come to the podium, must state their name and address for the record. They'll be allowed 4 minutes to speak. They will address the entire council, not just one member. The council will not take any action or make any motions on anything that night. We're gonna try to limit, public forum to what's on the agenda. Personal stuff, insurance claims, stuff like that won't be discussed through public forum. You can consult with Clinton or the attorney on stuff like that. Any questions on the new way we're handling it? It's not a ton different, but
And if I could just add, historically, there's never been a huge concern with council meetings in Janesville. I mean, I think we all know that. Last week, Andy and I did attend a training that the League of Minnesota Cities put on that talked about, the conduct of council meetings, and we just got a couple ideas, so we put it on here. So we'll give this a shot. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
that being said, anybody wish to speak through public forum?
4 minutes? I'm in sales. I need 10. No, I just...
Well, this is James, so we'll work with you on
No,
some things
I'm
too,
joking.
so.
I'm joking. My name is Bob Burns, and my address is 36994 73rd Street in Janesville. I was here tonight, or I came here tonight, I've been doing a little bit of thinking about this. I've had an opportunity to be on a committee here with the city to look at some daycare opportunities that we might try to provide in our community here, because there seems to be a void. And it got me thinking after the meeting of some things and opportunities where there might be building or structure, which is part of the componentry of that. And I got thinking about the old BP, which Casey's owns now, and they had, as everyone knows, had their station there for a while until they relocated. And was thinking that somewhere within the city, that we try to secure that building in some way through a purchase agreement or an intent to buy with a non-refundable down payment, maybe to take it off the market, so we can somewhat control what goes in there. Because right now, our Main Street, there isn't a lot of opportunities for new businesses to come in. I know that Casey's, when I visited them, they said they're gonna let us know when they sell it, but I know they've let a lot of people know that. And I was just wondering, before we find out maybe somebody bought it from out of the area, not that that's a bad thing, but is there a way we can secure that for a daycare or some business that we would approve of having in our community? And that's why I'm here tonight, to see if there's any opportunities. maybe as far as even contacting Casey's with a letter saying how much their facility would mean to us, that we don't have anything like that. Try to work with them in that area, you know, because I see in my travels, I'm an entrepreneur and I see Casey's structures used to be all of a sudden they get sold, and what goes in them I don't always know, but I'm sure it's mainly private. I don't know if the city's feelings on that at all or not. If we could take a look at possibly doing that, at least let Casey's know that we're really interested in this, if in fact we are. Maybe we're not, but it's just something I thought about, because there's not opportunities for new businesses or businesses that are here to expand, and that looks like a good facility. And I'm certain that it is clean and clear, because EPA wouldn't allow holes to be closed and move on until it was. So I'm guessing it has a clean bill of health for our community. But that's why I'm here tonight. I just wanted to bring that up as an idea, suggestion, that maybe we just take a look at it and see if there's some way we can secure for our community. So, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
I forgot to bring M&Ms. So, sorry.
You know what, though, that was 2 minutes.
Okay, well.
You got 2 more. Don't tempt him.
Anybody else? Public forum? Public forum? We'll close public forum. Notice of communications.
I do not have any. I think you have stuff in your mailbox. I'll get that before you leave tonight.
Okay. Council reports.
Whispering Creek is, last month they lost a little money, but it's, they have rooms now because of
Mike,
COVID.
can you move your mic in front of you? There you go.
They have because of COVID changes and stuff, they still have to have a couple rooms in case somebody has to be quarantined when they come in. So they don't have as many rooms available, but they're currently, staffing's the issue why they can't take more residents. They're taking some as some move out, but getting that census built up is a staffing issue right now, and that's what it's relying on. So, anybody looking for a job, let them know that the nursing home's hiring.
Yeah. I think a lot of healthcare facilities are in the same boat right now. It's hard.
That's all I have.
Park Road had their meeting a week ago, I think it was, a week ago Thursday. They're doing much better. I think they've got one open apartment. They're getting some extra money from the government. Their book balance looks really a lot better. They're solvent and moving forward. They're making plans to try to get the money for an elevator. There's a lot of activity down there, and they're very positive about it, so.
Good.
Side note, Cedar Gardens are starting to grow out there, so.
Oh, they are. Isn't that pretty?
Yes.
You go out there, and it's just kind of a nice aesthetic part of that, so thanks a lot, Mike.
You can take a farmer off the farm, but you can't take the, right?
You know, there's some of that, isn't it? You know.
With the EDA, we are looking at opening up another grant program, which actually will include work for the inside of a building as well as the out. The program will be similar to last year. We are looking at opening that, I think, by October 1st, and it'll run for a year again, so that's kind of the big thing at EDA right now. Administrative reports.
All right, in your packet tonight, you have the cash balance report from last Friday. The 2022 street and utility project, the street project for next year, as most people know, we're gonna plan on doing the reconstruct on West Allen Street, so Main Street to the west, badly needed. We may add a smaller street onto that project, just kinda depends on cost estimates and how that goes. Joe and I and Nate were talking with Bolton and Mink the other day, so we'll maybe come up with some ideas on a different, smaller street. July 12th, our next city council meeting, Jason Femright will be here to give an overview of the West Allen Street project, and then it's kind of the first step in the street project. He will ask the council to authorize himself to put a feasibility report together. And that's part of the process, that's the first step. And then what he'll do is he'll put that report together and he'll present it to the council in August. And if you are satisfied with that report, then we'll have our first initial improvement hearing in September. So that's kind of the timeline for the street project. We would really like to open bids early next year, I should say, January, February type thing, so we can get rolling in the spring.
I'd like to see it before the first of the year if we could, get the next year's contracts.
Yeah?
I think the earlier you get them out there, the better you are.
So that's kind of that. So, yeah, we'll start doing that at our next meeting. We'll start looking at next year's street project. Last week, I just mentioned this with Andy and I, but last week I attended the online conference that the League of Minnesota Cities did. It was really good. There was a lot of really good sessions. Andy and I had that one we just talked about. And I just want to inform the council too that I was elected to get on the board of directors for the league, so I have a 2-year term doing that. So there will be a couple times a month that I'm not here. I may have to travel a little bit here and there for different trainings and workshops and stuff, but I'll be doing that for the next couple of years.
Congrats.
Yeah, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
2021 payroll report, we have the first 2 quarters of the year presented for your payroll purposes. And then next Monday, July 12th, if it's still okay with everybody on the council, we will have my performance review. And according to law, we close that portion of the meeting, so we do all that with our notices of the paper and such. If you're okay with July 12th, Michael, I'll give you the notice tomorrow morning. I'll send it to you, okay?
Sounds good. What's the format? Do we have a checklist we go
Yeah.
through? And is that coming
I'll
out
give you
to us
one.
before?
Yep.
Okay, excellent.
And then the city attorney is here. So he'll be part of the,
Okay,
and if you want input from the city attorney, let me know too. He'll put something together for you if you would like. So,
checklist will come out, when will we get that?
I'll probably give it to you,
Next week?
probably next week.
All right,
Yep.
sounds good.
Yep. And then the last item I guess I have in the report is the weekly brief from the coalition. We're still waiting to see what the legislature does on so many things, so we're just patiently waiting, I guess. That's all I have.
Move to accept his report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Old business, American Rescue Plan.
I thought that by today we would know our money. We don't.
Funny.
The state, the Management and Budget Office in St. Paul still has not been able to give us the dollar amounts that we will receive as a city for the Rescue Plan Act from the federal government. We don't know yet. As you know, at their last meeting, we passed a resolution that allowed us to apply for the funding, so I did that. And now, this resolution tonight was going to accept the dollar amount, but as you can tell, there's a big blank in the middle of the screen there, because we don't know the dollar amount yet. So let's just hold off on this resolution until we do know. In the league last week did state that we will more than likely receive the money at the end of July. It used to be the beginning of July. In fact, I think it was in June at one point. So it's been pushed back quite a bit. And quite honestly, if there is a state shutdown, it may be pushed back a little more because the state employees are the ones that are administering this program and sending the money out, and they've all received layoff notices, so if the government does shut down, we won't know. But we'll just be patient, and when we get it, we'll talk about how to spend it. Fair enough?
Fair.
So we'll table that?
Yeah.
I get a motion to table.
I'll make a motion to table it.
Second. All in favor to table American Rescue Plan Act funding update?
Aye.
Aye.
New business, joint powers agreement with the state.
Yes, 2017, we initially signed an agreement with the state that would allow us to have access to the state's BCA, criminal justice system, state records for law enforcement purposes. The agreement, I think, is a 3 or 4 year agreement, but anyway, Dave Ullman did receive the information in your packet here a few weeks ago asking us to update that agreement.
It's something we've done every 3 years for the last, as long as I know.
Right.
Gives them opportunity to access the records. And they have to have a council approval on that, so I'll make a motion to approve resolution 15.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Advanced metering infrastructure.
Do you, Andrea, you wanna go, or you want me to go, or?
Yep. So, in your packet, you have a staff report, from Joe and myself on, an AMI sewer request. What this, goes over is, over the past year, Nate, utility general manager, and I have vetted, quite a few different vendors on updating our meter software along with our existing electric and water meters. A lot of them are coming to end of life, and so they're no longer being able to be read, so we've had to do some meter change-outs, and we've had to work with vendors on that. We just ran into an issue today with our meter handheld, but that system is also going to be coming to an end of life sooner rather than later with support for that as well. The way the industry is going, and legislation and all of that, a lot of towns are switching to this AMI system, advanced meter infrastructure. It's real-time data, so instead of monthly reads, you're going to get, on electric side, you get 15-minute reads, and then for water and sewer, we're going to have hourly reads. So it's going to improve customer service. Customers are going to know a lot sooner if they have a toilet leak, water softener issue, anything along those lines, that they get their bill at the end of the month, they're like, whoa, what's this high usage from? So we can track down, from the day to the time, all of that stuff.
There's an app they'll be available too, that they can monitor
Yep.
their usage too.
Yep, so there'll be a customer portal that customers can choose to sign up so they can see the information as well as us. We see the same information. If they don't, we can obviously give them that same information. We can print graphs, all that stuff as well. So, but it is out there for them to use. Like I said, our system is pretty old out there. I mean, the last transition was about 13, 14 years ago, back in 2007, but we do have meters out there that are 40 years old right now. So the Public Utility Commission has decided, after reviewing all the bids presented to them at the last meeting here early June, to move forward with a company called Suez, who works with Aclara. The water portion can be paid out over 2 years without any finance charges. So these payments would start next year and go through 2023. Total costs for the bid it's going to replace all 950 water meters, and it includes installation of those water meters. It's about $490,000, so therefore, if we split that 50-50 between the water and sewer fund, you're looking at about $245,000 that we're asking the council to contribute out of the sewer funds. The Fund 602 does have the funds to contribute toward this project, while maintaining a cash balance above the minimum target balance moving forward to account for other future CIP items. The main two reasons that the PUC is requesting funds from the sewer, because their sewer charges are collected by the water meters, so that's how you guys get your revenues, based on the water meters itself. Also, looking back past history, over many years, the sewer department has never contributed towards meter infrastructure or the improvements to it. So they're looking for your help on this big capital item moving forward. And the last thing on the staff report, it just kind of shows you that graph there of the cash balance for Fund 602. So you can see there, you're gonna stay above that yellow line, which is the minimum target balance.
Yeah, so that yellow line is the target balance you have for the fund. If the council does contribute from the sanitary sewer funds towards this project, that's what your green bars will indicate then as far as cash.
Yep. And I will point out, I have updated this, so this does include the 2020 draft audit numbers, because
Okay.
you guys haven't officially approved the 2020 audit yet, but this graph does include those numbers, so.
It does include this, if we pass this is the graph we're looking at, that
Yes.
if we, so we stay
Yep.
above the line.
Yep.
Your thoughts, Joe?
I mean, I'm all for it, being that we've never contributed before. And a couple years ago, as we looked at our rates, we kind of planned for a substantial investment like this, because we know our infrastructure was kind of, that's way out in that aspect. But John, totally on board. The customer portal, I think, is a big deal. We don't have any sewer equipment failure, if you wanna call it that, like if your water softener malfunctions or your toilet keeps running, I mean, those fees can add up quite quickly, so, you know, it's gonna help the customer out substantially.
Do you guys have any questions for us, other than what was presented in the report?
I just wanna thank Joe and Nate and Andrea, 'cause they've spent a very large amount of time the last several months looking at this and researching this. They've done a great job.
Well, and I think the reason why I
Compliments to
don't have
them.
any questions is because the presentation was so good.
And here's the deal now, I know you typed the minutes, but will you please put that in the minutes?
Sure.
Okay.
It looks like we can afford it, and it looks
Mhm.
like the personnel involved, find a need for it. I would move that we accept this.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Tonight's meeting was pretty light, it's a little thin, but that's okay. Our next meeting's we'll have a few reports and things, so our next meeting's gonna take a little longer, so have a good dinner before you get here next time.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Andy, you seconded? You,
Jim seconded.
Yeah.
Just an upgrade for, yeah, meeting all at the, park, yeah, track. Yeah, and the old, $8, they need a whole course and whatever. Well, it's very, very, yeah.